Today we're going to be doing a review of the MasterBuilt Pro Series 30-inch electric smoker with Bluetooth. Today we're going to be reviewing the smoker. I am going to cook a pork butt and we're going to see how that turns out. I'm not going to show you all the prep work because prep work is basically something of a personal opinion. What you like to do, what kind of rub you like, if you like to marinate it the night before. So we're going to leave all that out. Let's get to the smoker and check things out. This is the MasterBuilt Pro Series 30-inch electric smoker. So it plugs in, uses electricity, no propane, no charcoal. Up here we have the control panel. This is your power. This is to connect your Bluetooth, temperature, up and down, and a timer up and down. Like I said, this is to connect your Bluetooth. This model does have Bluetooth, so you can download the app on your phone, whether it be Google or Apple, and you can monitor the temperature of the smoker and the temperature of the meat, as there is a meat probe in this model. Go over the vents. There's two vents. This is all the way closed as they get, and all the way open. Same thing on both sides. The model I got does have the window. You don't need the window, it's a personal preference. I just like the window so I can see what's going on inside and what the meat looks like while it's cooking. This is your door latch, and it is adjustable, as you can see right there. And you have your insulated trim around the door. Now, before you cook anything, you're going to want to make sure to clean and season your smoker, which, as you can see by the door, I have already done. This glass will get dirty from the smoke. I found what you can do is just get a paper towel or a cloth with some vinegar on it, and it cleans up really nice. Now let's go over the inside. Basic setup here, we've got 4 stainless steel racks. This model, as you can see, has a broiler option on it, so you can put your meat up here and broil it or whatever else you're cooking. It does have a meat probe that comes with this model. So we've got the 4 trays. You've got your water tray here underneath that rack. A little difficult to pull out with the rack on. And this is your wood chip container. And your heating element is right under there. And your removable tray. You see the hole in the back, legs on the front, so when you slide that in, everything will drain to the back. And if we take a look around the back, you'll see that hole there, and all of it will come and collect in there, make it for an easy cleanup. This model also has a handle with wheels, so you can tip it and roll it around, move it to the location you want. One of the best things about this is you got your meat in here, you're smoking it, you've added your chips, it's been smoking for a while, you want to smoke longer, your wood chips are getting low. They have the filler right here, so you don't have to open the door. You just turn that, pull this out, that's where you put your wood chips in. Slide it in like that, turn it, and it will dump the wood chips into the tray right here. So you don't have to open the door and lose your heat, lose time. Really nice feature on this model. So I've got a pork butt waiting. We're going to go inside, get that prepped, and throw it on. But first what we want to do is we'll close the door up here. And let's turn the power on, get this preheated. Now I will say, right now my only complaint with this is you cannot see the screen at all. I'm even covering it. Very difficult to see. You have your bottom heat and your top heat, so you can do the broiler or the smoker. We're going to set our heat to, we're going to go 205 on this. Then you press your heat again. As far as the timer, we're going to leave the timer off. We're not going to worry about the timer. So right now it's saying the inside is 84. So we're going to let this preheat, throw some wood chips in here, and get the meat ready. So I've removed the broiler tray, so I have enough room in here to put the pork butt in. Next thing we want to do is fill the water tray up. And we're going to take this rack out because we're not going to be using that. And you know what, we're not going to be using that either, so we'll just pull all those out, and we're just using the one rack. Now the water tray, this is my water. Obviously it is discolored, and I'll tell you why. Set that in here. There's the max water line. Make sure you don't fill it up past that. What I did with mine is I'm cooking pork. I like the apple flavor with that, so what I did is added some apple juice to the water to add some flavoring. And also we've got the apple chips that we're going to add too, and we'll do that in just a minute. So I'm getting ready to add the wood chips now. I will say it's been about 20 minutes since I started preheating the smoker, and it's already up to about 137 degrees. The display on this, very hard to read. I'm covering it with my hands and looking at it. Definitely a thumbs down on that. The display is very dim, very hard to read. It is overcast today. It's not very sunny. If it were a sunny day, it would be almost impossible. You'd have to completely cover it and put your face in there like that to see it. So they need to work on that. But I'm going to add the wood chips now. I'm going with apple because I'm doing pork. The experts recommend for pork things like apple, pecan, maple syrup, cherry, things like that, just to give it a sweeter taste, not so much of a mesquite barbecue taste that you would want with beef. So let's add these chips. So again, when this is face down, it won't pull out. So we turn it up like that, pull it out. You can already feel the heat coming out of there. That's good. And like I said, I'm using the apple. We're just gonna dump some in there and make a mess while we're doing it. It's gonna have to be pretty compact in there. You don't want things sticking out too much or it won't go in. Yeah, the hole there. Yep, so we got a piece stuck. Let's move that around. And then you turn it and it dumps it in the bucket. And I don't know if we'll be able to see. Probably not. Let's open it up. If you look into the wood bucket, you really can't see too well. But there's a good amount in there. So it doesn't fill it up, but it almost does. So we'll be adding more anyway. Might be a good idea if you want to add the wood chips to pull the actual tray out and put the wood chips in before it gets hot. But there's a lot of heat kicking out of here now. So as far as setting up the Bluetooth app, download the app from whichever store you do, Google, Apple, and then you come out here, you open the app and it will give you instructions on what to do, but also the instruction manual that came with the smoker will. You hold down the connect button and it'll beep, and then you'll look on your phone, you'll be able to see the device. So let's see what that looks like on the phone. So this is what the app looks like. This is an Apple iPhone. You can see you have your smoker connected. You can add other devices, other smokers you may get from MasterBuilt. This is my smoker, Smoky Joe. we are connected. It says disconnect and remote there. And let's see what's going on in there. So right now our temperature is at 205, which is pretty good because it's been on for about a half hour. This is the meat probe temperature, 184. And the other temperature is 285. Now as far as the broiler goes, obviously we don't have it set for anything, but it'll still show the meat probe temp. So right now we're at 207. So we're good. We're good to put the meat on. One thing I forgot to add here. Say you want to change your temperature or set a timer, you can just click that and you can change your temperature. And the same with the timer. You can set a timer up. So the app works nice. Connects pretty good. I'll give it that. So we're at 209. It's a little higher. Let's throw the meat on. All right. Oh, that apple smells good. Let's take a look at how they're burning. Yeah, there's still plenty in there. So we're going to put it on the top rack. If I can grab it here without dropping it. Set it right down there like that. Nice. And we'll stick the probe in. Maybe if I turn it like this. Sorry, this is hard to do holding the camera and trying to get this done. And just smash it up there like that. So we've got a mess, that's for sure. Pork butt's cooking. We got the probe in. Again, this is our water apple juice. See it dripping down, that's fine. So we'll close it back up, get it up to temp, and keep an eye on it while it cooks. So playing around with the app a little bit, do a little update. At the bottom here where it says Smoky Joe. My target temp is 215. It went up to 220. I did change the temperature. It alerts you when it hits the target temperature. So that's kind of nice. It'll give you a beep and a notification. Let's go over to the meat sensor. The probe's at 43, 42. I did have it in the refrigerator. So I guess that's about right. We'll check on it a little later and see how things are progressing. Okay, the nice thing about the Bluetooth is it gives you an alert when it reaches the temperature and also an alert when the meat probe reaches the temperature. So it's been a little over 12 hours and see the meat probe is at 200, 0 for the timer obviously. 269 for the temperature. I turned it up the last 15 minutes. The thing I didn't like about the notification was it was 4 degrees prior. I guess that could be a good thing. That way you can make arrangements to get it out and you know it's going to be about 20 minutes. So we're done here, but I want to just show you the screen because you can see at night the screen is much clearer, much easier to read, obviously, as opposed to the day. So before we pull the meat out, just gonna power that down and let's take a look inside and see what we cooked. So that's what we have. A little over 12 hours. I believe in cooking low and slow. That way you keep the juices in, the meat won't get dried out. Obviously it looks very dark and burnt because of the rub and seasoning on the outside, but once we cut into it, it should be pretty good. So I'm going to go inside, take the meat, let it rest for about an hour or two, and then we're going to prepare it for some pulled pork sandwiches. Alright, we got the meat inside wrapped up. As I was talking on the window, you can see it's black. I mean, the inside's dirty. We'll have to clean it. That's your water pan. Really served as a drip pan. That didn't get too dirty. So we're pretty good there. The back, when I was putting the meat probe in, that messed it up a little bit, but it's cooled down some. While it's still warm, this is what I like to do. I've got a little water vinegar mix here. Spray it on there. And get a lot of that soot off of it while it's still warm. That's what you got. That way you can still have an operable window, at least for some of the time. Like I said, I like to do that while it's still warm. That way it cleans off just a little bit easier. So we're back with my final thoughts on the MasterBuilt smoker. Obviously it's the next day. We got done late last night, and after I let the meat rest and pulled it apart, it was real late, so I didn't want to come back out and finish the video. I will say the pork butt turned out great, very tasty, so I'm happy with that. As far as the smoker, go over the things I like and things I didn't. The things I like are definitely the Bluetooth and the app that come along with it, because I was able to sit in the house all day and just keep an eye on it. The app does give you notifications when the machine comes up to temperature, when the meat comes up to temperature. You can use the app to change the different settings, whether it be the temperature of the machine or what you want your probe temperature set at. So that's definitely an A+. The only thing I really didn't care for is the display. During the day, it's too dim. I mean, it should be brighter or use some different type of display to make it easier to see. During the night, yeah, you can see it fine, but during the day, you really can't see it. So that's my review on the smoker. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button below and consider subscribing, and hopefully we'll see you next time.